7 reading, Curriculum Assessment 1, September-October 2020. Read the selection and choose the best answer to each question. Then fill in the answer on your answer document. Number 1. Which sentence from the story explains why Kim plants the beans? A. I would show him that I was his daughter. B. Here our apartment house had no yard. C. I had to keep my project safe. D. Then I told myself that I must show my bravery. Number 2. Paragraphs 4 and 5 help build tension in the story by F. Comparing the weather in Cleveland to the weather in Vietnam. G. Showing the activity of rats in the vacant lot. H. Describing the distance to the vacant lot. J. Suggesting Kim is uncomfortable and scared. Number 3. Read the dictionary entry below. Break. 1. Shatter into small fragments. 2. Become separated from. 3. Put an end to or stop. 4. Push through the surface. Which definition most closely matches the way the word break is used in paragraph 7? A. Definition 1. B. Definition 2. C. Definition 3. 4. D. Definition 4. Number 4. How does the story's setting influence its plot? F. It forces Kim to face the miserable cold and the frightening vacant lot in order to honor her father. G. It helps the reader understand why the family left Vietnam and moved to Cleveland years ago. H. It allows Kim and her family to understand how much time has passed since the father's death. J. It helps the reader understand why candles and incense are burned on a death anniversary in the Vietnamese culture. Number 5. Which is the best summary of the excerpt? A. Kim's family remembers her father on his death anniversary. They burn candles and incense. They also have a feast in his honor. That night, Kim is awakened by the sound of her mother crying. She and her older sister also cry. Kim cries for a different reason than her mother and sister. B. Kim never met her father before he dies. Following an evening of remembrance for him, Kim worries that he will never know her. She sneaks out into the cold night, into a vacant lot, and plants some lima beans, hoping that she will be able to connect with her father by sharing an experience similar to farming. C. Kim takes some lima beans and walks to a vacant lot. Even though it is April, the weather is very cold, a different experience from the weather in Vietnam. The vacant lot is full of tires and trash bags. She finds a spot behind a rusty refrigerator for her project, and she plants the beans, vowing to make them grow. D. Kim's class grew lima beans in school last year. In the vacant lot, she digs 6 holes in the frozen ground on a cold night. She remembers that her father was a farmer in Vietnam. Kim plants lima beans in the holes. She thinks about how her father would love to see the beans grow. Number 6. Kim's thoughts in paragraph 7 show that she, F, has studied the proper way to plant lima beans. G, is frustrated that the apartment building does not have a yard. H, wants to do something to make her father proud of her. J, is disappointed her father was a farmer. Number 7. Which of these best describes Louise's internal conflict in the story? A. Louise was not completely dependent on being married to her husband, but cannot adapt to the idea of an entirely new life. B. Louise is uncertain whether or not to appear sad at the news about her husband when she is secretly glad that he is gone. C. Louise mourns the death of her husband, yet she becomes intrigued by the idea of living independently. D. Louise knows that she has a weak heart and is unsure how to handle the news of her husband's death. Number 8. The Latin root tumultuous means commotion or disturbance. Helps the reader understand that the word tumultuously in paragraph 10 means F, in an agitated way, G, with a joyful rhythm, H, in a delayed fashion, J, with an enthusiastic pace. 9. Louise's thoughts in paragraph 13 through 15 are important to the story because they establish that she, A, establishes that Louise worries about how to survive without her husband, B, reveals that Louise desires to be an independent woman, C, shows that Louise wishes to find her husband's replacement, D, suggests that Louise's fears what she will see at her husband's funeral. Number 10. What is the best summary of the excerpt? F. Louise is devastated upon learning of the death of her husband. After thinking through the situation while locked in her bedroom, Louise is filled with joy when she realizes he is in fact alive. G. After learning about the death of her husband in a railroad disaster, Louise wonders how she will ever continue living. She finds comfort looking at the scenery outside her window, despite her sister pestering her to come out. H. When Louise finds out about her husband's supposed death, she is increasingly excited about the prospect of living on her own. Upon her husband's return to the house unharmed, Louise suffers such a great shock she has a heart attack. J. When Louise finds out about her husband's supposed death, she is so shocked and nervous about the prospect of living alone. The anxiety she feels is so overwhelming that Louise has a heart attack and dies just as her husband returns to the home unharmed. Number 11. Read the dictionary entry below. Fancy. Number 1. Inclination or preference. 2. Notion or whim. 3. Imagination, especially when fantasy. 4. Person committed to some particular art. Which definition most closely matches the way the word fancy is used in paragraph 19? A. Definition 1. B. Definition 2. C. Definition 3. D. Definition 4. Number 12. The story reaches its climax when F. Louise is told of her husband's death. G. Louise repeatedly whispers the word free. H. Josephine begs Louise to open the door. J. Brentley Mallard enters the house alive. Number 13. How does the setting advance the plot of the story? A. It allows the characters to witness an uncommon event. B. It gives the characters the opportunity to identify a problem. C. It offers the characters a chance to develop new relationships. D. It causes the characters to feel unsafe. Number 14. Which sentence shows that the narrator is aware of the feelings of others? F. It doesn't seem to be as strong, though, and the first turtle is putting an increasing amount of distance between them. G. The baby turtle seems to be taking a break from his attempts to free himself from the nest. H. We hurry back to the nest, where a few other beach walkers have been drawn in as well. J. I can tell her mind is on my little brother, Charlie. Number 15. Why doesn't the narrator watch the other turtles hatch at the end of the story? A. He doesn't have the patience to observe such a long process. B. He is consumed by his thoughts about the first turtle's destiny. C. He is concerned that his mother has started worrying again. D. He doesn't want to ruin the experience for the little girl. Number 16. Which event initiates the rising action of the excerpt? F. The narrator watches the horizon as the first baby turtle swims away. G. The narrator's mom says the baby turtle reminds her of her son, Charlie. H. The little girl shouts that the turtle eggs are hatching. J. The narrator wonders if the baby turtle can beat the odds and survive. Number 17. What is the best summary of the story? A. While on vacation, the narrator and his mother come across a nest of hatching sea turtles. The narrator listens as a woman explains to her young daughter that the small turtles will travel far across the ocean. A small crowd watches the turtles make their way across the sand. The narrator tries to continue watching the first turtle after the waves pull it out to the sea, but the creature is soon hidden from view. B. The narrator is on a family vacation in Florida. While on an evening walk along the beach, the narrator and his mother have the opportunity to watch baby sea turtles hatch and struggle toward the ocean. The turtles remind the mother of her younger son, who is traveling alone to Los Angeles. The narrator hopes that the first newly hatched sea turtle will overcome the odds and survive in the ocean. C. The narrator and his mother decide to walk on the beach at sunset, but it soon becomes dark. They meet a little girl and her mother, who explains that the nest of sea turtles has unexpectedly begun to hatch. The woman asks whether the narrator and his mother have a cell phone so that she can call her husband, but they do not. The narrator and his mother leave, but they return when the little girl yells that the turtle is out of the nest. D. A little girl tells people walking on the beach that some baby turtles are hatching. The narrator and his mother join the girl and her mother in watching the turtles, which are hatching about 10 days earlier than expected. The girl asks her mother whether the first turtle is going and learns that it must swim to the Sargasso Sea. The narrator admires the small turtle's determination to cross the sand and reach the water. Number 18. Why are the woman's comments about the nest in paragraphs 6 through 10 important to the story? F. They explain why it is problematic that the turtles are hatching early. G. They establish that the woman is knowledgeable about the life cycle of turtles. H. They reveal the significance of seeing the turtles hatch from their nest. J. They show that the local residents think tourists disregard the safety of the turtles. Number 19. In paragraph 19, the author refers to the turtles' onlookers as a group of fans to show that A. People are leading the turtle to the ocean. B. The crowd wants the turtle to succeed. C. The narrator feels like part of the crowd. D. The narrator wishes more people could see the event. Number 20. The narrator's observations in paragraph 2 are important to the story because they F. Imply that Charlie values his personal interests more than family. G. Suggest that the narrator envies his brother. H. Illustrate the family's desire to spend time together. J. Convey the mother's anxiety about Charlie.